I really like the technique of pareidolia. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think it's a really good warm-up. I've been exploring a lot of abstraction, and I find it very freeing as a warm-up, but I'm not quite sold on it, and I really miss imagery, and I find it kind of escaping me. There were a lot of images that I used over the years, and they seem like they're from my past. And so I'm inviting some new imagery into my art life, and I think pareidolia is a great way to invite that. So I've also been working with a limited palette, usually complementary colors. So I'm going to be using some purple and yellow, and I got some purple and yellow collage stuff. I don't know if I'm going to use it. It's kind of graphic, but I might. And I also made these collage papers that I might use as well, but again, it's collage, I don't know. But some of it I just really like painting on tissue paper. But in this one, I liked how the ink kind of did some granulation. These I kind of like. So I might use them. I just don't know yet. But I wanted to start by just creating a field of some abstract marks. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. And I'm just going to kind of let go and have a scribble and some smudging with some different materials. I don't think I want to use pastel, because I won't be able to change later. Like, you're kind of stuck with it. So I did get some pastels, but I think I will be saving those for a little bit later on. But I have some, same with the crayon, but I have some soft pastel that might be good. And I have some markers that would probably be effective. And then I have some, that's my dog, has an opinion. These are like water soluble pastels. This isn't quite purple, but it's purple enough. So, and is this one? I think this is one as well. So let me test it. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna scribble and smudge and just have some fun. I do like to do this part with my eyes closed. So that's what I'm going to be starting out with is eyes closed. And as I'm working with my eyes closed, I'm really trying to just enjoy, like, this is kind of sticky and oily, and I'm feeling the texture of the paper, and I'm not even looking. I'm just kind of like making these marks and feeling that. And I think I want to put some yellow paint down because I want to feel that. So I'm just kind of, I open my eyes long enough to put the paint on there and aim my brush. But now when I go over this, it has a different texture that's kind of nice. So I'm sort of avoiding looking at my paper and just doing that. I really like how it feels when it goes over the acrylic. Put some purple down. That yellow, whoo-wee, that is vivid. I'll put some water on here too, loosen things up a little bit. I'm experimenting with different ways of holding the brush and like using my arm, using my fingers, blocking my view of it so I can't see. Oh, you know what I want? I really want something white. Maybe I'll use the other side of this. Sometimes you can put words in here. They don't even need to be readable. I'm not going to. My arm is starting to get tired already. All right, and now I'm gonna spray it really, really well, both sides. Really soak it, and then close it for a moment. I'm gonna put a little piece of tape on there so I know where it closed to. And just press that down. And I have this, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna put some water on there and just press around. I'm looking at what I'm doing now. And you know, these are complementary colors, so you can see some neutral colors starting to emerge. And I think I'm also going to add some white or some buff. Another one of these, just to kind of spread that around on there. Some water. And let's see, we put some white, and I think I'll also put some ink on there. I'm not going to use any black ink just yet. I'm going to save those super darks until a little bit later. And I think one last thing I will do is take this old napkin that I happen to have crumpled up on my there we go. That's more like what I'm seeing. Oh, those colors are so different, but that's okay. I'm going to get this wet and trying to be random. Ooh, I like that. And I'm really focusing on, like, really, I don't care how this turns out. I'm really just interested in building up some random areas of color and mush, random mush, random textures. All right, so now I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm going to do the next part of the exercise. I think actually I'm probably gonna, to speed things up, I'm gonna use a heat gun so I can stay in the moment. Decided I wanted some drippy marks. Okay. So, I feel like the colors changed a little bit, but that's okay. I can get used to that. And so a couple of things. One is, one of the things I like when I do things like this is I get accidental marks on the next page. Sometimes I get them on previous pages and they sometimes mess up things that I made, but that's okay. This happened to go exactly right over her third eye, so that's cool. It looks like graffiti. But gosh, it's still not dry all the way. So what you can do now is what's called seeing into, where you just kind of, if you kind of let your eyes, do you remember those magic eye puzzles where you had to kind of like relax your vision in order for that 3D image to come through? Or like when you stare into tiles and you can see something come through. That's one way of doing this, where you're kind of letting the patterns come into something recognizable. But then there's also things that are like with clouds, like, oh, that shape is kind of like this. It kind of looks like a bee. I can kind of see a bee in there. So there's different ways of working with it. So like I can almost kind of see a face coming through here, but it kind of looks like one of the Simpsons. So, just kind of staring for a little while and with relaxed eyes and just seeing what comes forward. Maybe something in here with a little ear. And then you can just use your favorite drawing materials to pull that out. You can also just work with what you have more abstractly and, try adding some collage elements in there and not do the pareidolia at all. These are all quite dark. I don't know if I'm gonna like any of them on here. But these, if I put them on with matte medium, they will get more transparent, which is kind of fun. Nice way of building up some layers. This is on like deli paper, so it won't do that quite as well. And I could cut these up as well. So I'm gonna stare at this for a little bit and decide. Oh, here's a perfect example of okay, let me see if I can get it up there. Do you see? There's like a little man's profile face. It's so small. I don't think I'll pull it out, but I could. So to me, that's kind of like, I like it when there's a little bit, when the variation in the shapes produces some form. That's when it's most interesting to me, rather than shapes that are more like kind of cartoony. So I'm going to use art materials now to see what comes out and kind of pull it out and have some fun. Okay, that's it. Have fun.